livestock, unlike a stock you hold in your brokerage account, livestock, the original stock market, costs money to hold. You got to feed them, you got to house them, daily maintenance. They cost money to hold. So if the market takes a dip and you have to sell anyways because you have to go buy feed, so be it. You have to sell on the dip. Sometimes you do great, you sell, and it's very much you want to talk about manipulation and people taking cuts. I'll tell you about the livestock market. Because when prices of feed have doubled, right, and the price of beef on the grocery store or lamb or whatever, I sell lamb, but is way more expensive, but the market prices that farmers get at auction for their animals are down, but all the other costs have gone up. It's very hard, right? They're like, oh no, prices, farmers should be making money. I know the middleman makes the money. The middleman is what's making, Cargill's making the money here. But yeah, that's
okay.
I think has the housing inventory in your area increased and the time to sell? Have you kept that at all?
So hello.
So where I live, it's
hello.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
I think we're live.
I think we're live, by the
way. Let's see if we're live. I don't know.
Let me pull up your YouTube stream then, just so I can do it.
Yeah, I think we're live. I think. Yeah, here we go.
We're live.
Are we live?
Yeah.
We are live. Okay. Okay. I was okay. Let me go over here now, and let's go to Twitter and let people know we're live. Wasn't sure we were going to be live. Took me a little bit of time. Okay. Let's see if this works. Let me go to the next guy. Next page. Does this work? And I forgot to turn my camera on. So got audio but no camera. Let's see. Going next. So got Metasport. Okay. Let's see if we can.
I think I just posted it.
Okay. Cool.
I did. I don't know. You guys can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I'll just post it now myself. Twitter. Okay, going live. Okay, going live.
We are live.
With Meta Support Channel and Bird Lady.
That is such a great name.
That is so cool. Okay.
All right.
Cool. So okay. So
do you have the ability to post your slides, or how do you want to do that?
You should see my slide right now.
You just see them on the YouTube.
It should be on YouTube. Okay. Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, your whole slide presentation's on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah. So let me just add some extra slides here. Okay. So it's just here, and that's it. Okay, so we're gonna start here.
More slides? What?
There's only 4 slides. I just stuck it at the end of. So I use slides to take notes for myself. So that's why I'm able to go really fast with creating slides as well too. It's like my own notebook.
Right.
Hello. So hello.
So do you want to do the non-financial advice?
Yeah. So let's do the intro. Okay. Hello everybody. So this is Tony with Market Moves. I've got Meta Support Channel and Bird Lady Roller Pigeons on the line here. And let me start by saying none of this that you hear is financial advice. We are not financial advisors. This information is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Right. This had to do with conversation that I had with Meta Support Channel, Syntax, Queen of the Metaverse. If she's able to, you can call Meta Support Channel and he can patch you in. If not, it's okay. It's no big deal. Oh, she's patched in? Okay, cool. And and we've got Bird Lady Roller Pigeons as well too. So say hi everybody.
Yeah, we're all here. Right, Roller Pigeons, you here?
Hey, it's me again. We're here.
There you go. We're all here. Okay.
We're all here.
So this was a conversation that Russ and I had, and we were discussing what we were going to do, and Syntax as well too, right? So So he gave me a call because basically we were concerned about what's going on tomorrow, and I had this wacko idea because I got invited to a Discord channel with syntaxed, and it was just pure chaos there. And I said, okay, I can't deal with the chaos. I have to leave. So, but the chaos was good because it kind of got me to the point where I thought, hey, I think I now know what's going to happen tomorrow. So I started talking about it with Russ, right?
Right.
And so let's. Yeah. So let and that's how this live stream came to be. He said, "Hey, we should do a live stream about it and let everyone else know because it's probably a good idea."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I think Roller Pigeons has some really good insights on kind of what could be happening over the next few days because, we're kind of at the precipice of a lot of decisions. The one thing that I wanted to kind of talk about and kind of see what everyone's opinions were is that, what are we all expecting tomorrow? Because the way that I'm kind of looking at it is pretty binary, and that is tomorrow is the last day that we can buy MMTLP if we want to carry it over into NextBridge, right?
Right.
That's been stated. You can't buy on Friday and carry it into NextBridge. You can't buy on Monday.
Okay,
right?
So that brings me to these. Oh, that's why there's no camera. Duh. It's my fault. Okay. Okay, so now we know why there's no camera. I put the lens cap on the camera.
Oh, there you go. I see.
There you go. Okay, so so this is a situation. You should see the calendar now. It's December 7th is today. The market's closed, right? December 8th is the last day we can buy MMTLP, like you said, and still get NextBridge hydrocarbon shares. December 9th
Right.
and the 12th, if you buy, you don't get NextBridge hydrocarbon shares at all, right?
Right.
And on the 13th, it gets canceled. And on the 14th, you should have NextBridge hydrocarbon shares in your account if you still held on to it. And it becomes non-tradable at that point, right? So.
Yes, it does.
Okay, cool.
It should go into AST. That should happen by your broker, and to which hopefully things could really change from there. But let's not get into that yet. Let's talk about the next 3 days because I think the next 3 days are going to be, I think they're going to be volatile. So, Roller Pigeons, what are you thinking?
Well, I agree with that. Certainly, I think let's do the presentation first and see what kind of questions.
Yeah, let's do that.
Right, yeah, so I can feel the flow of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shoot! Is everything flipped around left to right on the presentation right now?
No, I'm reading it correctly. We're December is. I'm reading it left to right. It looks like December.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Because it looks right to left here in YouTube for whatever reason on live. I don't know why. Okay, good.
No, looks good. You're good.
Okay, you can read everything. That's good.
Yep.
I trust you guys. Okay, so that's the current situation. So that means that the next step or the next questions to ask is, so this is what I believe, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong or whatnot. Okay, so December 8th is the last day to buy NextBridge hydrocarbons, and it's the last day that you can buy MMTLP and still get NextBridge hydrocarbon shares. So that means on the 9th and the 12th, you can still buy NextBridge hydrocarbon shares, and you can still sell it, but you will not get, you can still buy MMTLP, and you can still sell MMTLP, but you will not get NextBridge hydrocarbon shares no matter what on the 9th and the 12th, right? So if you're long MMTLP and you want the shares, you have no reason to buy at that point. But if you're short, you can buy to close, right? And there should be a lot fewer buyers there because, again, longs have no reason to buy, right? So that it's quite possible that the shorts may want to buy on those days and the price could tank on those days, okay? Mm-hmm. So I believe, and my contention is, the only buyers that will be present on the 9th and the 12th are shorts closing their positions, and that's a buy to close, okay? That means that if you are long and you're holding through the 9th and the 12th, that you're happy with NextBridge hydrocarbons and you want those shares, right? Certainly that's the way I'm going. If I'm going to be long on those days, I want those shares. If you're short and you have not closed your short position by the 8th, then you have to close And that means that on the 9th and the 12th, you will likely be buying during that time. And it could be the best time for you to buy because there could be a lot less buying pressure then at that point, right? Because you will not get Nextbridge Hydrocarbon shares at that time. But that's okay for shorts. Shorts don't need Nextbridge Hydrocarbon shares. They don't expect to get them. They've already sold MMTLP shares that don't exist. They just need to cover their position, which means they need longs to sell to them, right? That's what this is all about. Agreed?
Right. And they want to cover at the lowest price they possibly can.
Yep. Exactly.
Right. I agree. Go on.
Okay. So that leads me to the last the last possible slide, which are the possible strategies, right, for longs. Okay. First one, hold everything into Nextbridge Hydrocarbons, right? If you do that, I believe that means you believe Nextbridge Hydrocarbons has value. And at that point, you're basically saying to the world, I can afford to wait as long as it takes. I don't care. I know what I know, and I'm going to hold. Okay? Yep. Second possible strategy is you can sell everything on the 8th, right? You can say, hey, look, this is the last chance. I'm going to limit, if I bought at $12 a share and I'm underwater or whatever, I'm going to sell whatever I can, limit my losses. Or if I made a bunch of gains, I'm going to lock in whatever gains I have. You can sell everything on the 8th. That's a possibility, okay? Third possibility is something most people I don't think have thought about, right? You could sell half on the 8th and ride the rest into Nextbridge Hydrocarbons, right? Sell half, keep half, in which case you might make a bunch of money because you might have gotten in at 70 cents, and then at which point you're up a lot. But you know that Nextbridge Hydrocarbons could wind up paying out a lot more than that as well too, right? It could easily be $60 a share or more. And that could be long-term capital gains. So in that case, you might want to keep some in, right? And the fourth possibility is, and you might have to sell some anyway because, you might have bills to pay. So, who am I to say that you shouldn't sell your shares? Because if you have bills to pay, you have bills to pay. That's just life, right? And the fourth possibility is you sell just enough to break even, right? And I think that's what Terry Yonkers called playing with the house money, right? If you're at a casino, you're already up a lot. Now, this is for people who bought in when the price was like 70 cents or $1 or $1.50, $2, $3, because it's up a lot, right? So you can sell just enough at that point to break even and ride the rest into Nextbridge Hydrocarbons, right? So you're not going to lose any money at that point. And if the shorts really are out there and they need my shares, they can pay me by making it worth my while to sell to them on the 9th and the 12th, right? The price could theoretically skyrocket at that point. We could be what, an HKD.
Millionaires?
Yeah, the price could easily go to $200, $500, $1,000 a share at that point, right? But at that point, I'll have a lot of shares still in there. Again, I want to state up front, I am not recommending any of these options. Neither is Roller Pigeons or Meta Support Channel, correct?
Right. Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I just I think those are four decisions that are going to have to be made in the next 24 hours. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. And
Roller Pigeons. Do you think that there's another decision out there?
I mean, my question was to Tony, right? So if you read it, you can. The last day to get Nextbridge is the 8th, okay?
Right.
That's stated. But if you sell between the 9th and the 12th, you have to, you can't double dip it. You have to transfer.
Yes, you will have lost those shares.
Nextbridge Hydrocarbons, yes, right, to whoever buys them, right? So you can still sell on, like you said, if shorts come knocking to close positions, you can still sell on the 9th or the 12th.
Yep. But yes, you're right. You cannot double dip for sure.
Right. Yeah. No double dipping. Yeah. No double dipping. It's sorry. It's either, you have it or you don't, I just want to say, well, that's, the possibility too, where you could say, okay, I'm going to hold on the 8th. And then, if the price really starts to run on the 9th or the 12th or decision, maybe you're going to make a decision. Again, that's advice. If I were to make a decision, in my own personal opinion, that's a possibility too. Like you said, if things start running because people need shares.
Yeah.
To close positions.
Yeah, I mean, even if they need 1 million shares at that point and nobody's selling, the price can still skyrocket at that point, right? But
Right.
chances are they might need a lot more than $1 million, right? So, yeah.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think in terms of tomorrow's price action? Have you put any thought into it? Do you think there's going to be a lot of buying pressure because it is the last day to buy, or do you think that there will be a lot of selling pressure because at that point, if I was a short, I would be trying to convince the buyers to sell all of their positions, right? This is your time to get out. What are your thoughts on either one of those options?
So I'll speak first, I guess. And so my thought is that the chances are, if I was a short, I would try to lure in as many new buyers as possible, and then basically scare them out of their money, right? You lure in a whole bunch of new buyers, and then you just crash the price, and those new buyers will flee, and they will, they'll basically dump whatever shares they have, and the shorts will ride those shares down, and they will try to close their positions if they can, right? And at that point, I think the shorts will try to end the 8th with the lowest possible share price possible, and at that point they would be basically try to keep, at that point they can run the price up on the 9th and the 12th without a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they'll start from a much lower point.
Hello?
Hello. What do you think, Bird Lady?
Hello. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to digest this.
Okay. Sorry.
Right. No, sorry. I was listening to you, trying to think.
This is just speculation on my part. I have no idea, right?
Oh, yeah.
Zero idea.
For sure, right? Right. I apologize to everybody, me being a bit slow to talk. It's, trying to juggle a couple of different things.
Sure, no problem.
It's not like my own live show where I can just go with the flow. Okay, so I definitely agree. I also want to point out, that today a lot of there's shares being borrowed today, shares being shorted because the DTCC letter had not, rolled out yet, and that could possibly play quite a hand in a lot of things. And
I think it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the shorts are counting on that.
They're counting on that. If the letter rolls out tomorrow, that gives instructions and then, goes to the brokers. Sadly, DTCC does not have a website you can go to like FINRA and say, oh, look, it's here. If the letter comes out to the broker dealers, the notification, then, shorts are going to be like, uh-oh, we got to cover, right? We got to cover. Here's instructions. They're going to say you can't hold shares into this because Next Bridge is not going to be tradable, and in order to get Next Bridge, you need to have MMTLP. Not lending it out. You have to own it, right? So that will cause a lot of pressure, right, to buy, and that will certainly, I think, be a catalyst. That's just my thought. I think a lot of it hinges on that DTCC letter.
I think it does, yeah. So the thing is, I believe John Berta has not sold a single share at all.
I also believe that.
And I believe, and for me, that gives me a lot of confidence. So I'm likely going to wind up going into option 4 myself. Because, just because I can use, I poured a lot of cash into this, and I can I can get some of that cash out, and that makes me a super diamond hand at that point, because I don't stand to lose anything at that point, right? If I've broken even, then
right.
I have no fear. I don't care if they run the price to 125. I can wait for more. I can wait for a lot more if if I'm at 0, right?
So
yeah.
So I'm going to say something really quickly. So I've been in this, since the merger, and this has always been like one of my I don't want to call it a dream or anything, but you two were the first 2 YouTubers that were really talking about MMTLP, and I just want to say I really appreciate that, because I just felt like, and I've said this before on chats, I'm going to say it here, I felt like I was on an island for a long time. And the reason why I bought into this company were twofold, right? Number one, I did my research and I felt like MMAT was onto something very, very big. And this disruptive technology, being the first person on the NASDAQ with nanotechnology and all these fun things that all these verticals that they were into, that was my like, okay, I'm in. Number two, which is why you both are here, or for various reasons, is they were merging with this company out of Texas called Torchlight, and it was kind of a symbiotic relationship. It was symbiotic in the sense that they were going to get the ticker and have immediate access to the NASDAQ, and then the folks at Torchlight were going to be able to realize a non-taxable event for all of their assets. And that MMTLP, and this is where like Tony and I were kind of talking in depth, and you kind of forget the reasons why you're here. And MMTLP was never intended to be traded. These conversations that we're having right now should never be happening. People that have been buying it, they really should not be allowed to buy it. And then one day, I think October 7th, it became tradable. Mm-hmm. So you actually buy more of a benefit that you were never really allowed to get. But somehow, some way, it became tradable. So reason why I'm saying all this in a quick, like 30-second recap is, anything that comes out of this is a benefit that a lot of people that are probably listening to this were never intended to have. So I think, looking at your numbers, 1, 2, 3, and 4, I think there's a lot to say about holding into NextBridge hydrocarbons. I think that everybody that was intended to receive this benefit is excited about what's on the other side of that wall. I don't think it gets discussed quite enough, but I think there's going to be a lot of value there. That being said, tomorrow, a lot of these investors, retail investors that are listening, are going to have to make a decision. And that is, if I decide to hold on to my shares after 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to realize that I could sell tomorrow or Monday. And there may be a run-up. There may not be. There may not be a run-up. There may be, though, and it could be of epic proportions. But what's on the other side of that door is probably not a bad thing. Thoughts on that?
Yeah,
I think that's great. Here. That was very eloquently put. Great job, Ben of support.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey,
I think that was great. That was awesome.
See, this is why I like to talk to Meta support.
That was very well said.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people are kind of forgetting why they're here. And at the end of the day, we have a right to buy this stock that was supposed to be untradeable, right? Sometimes it's $7, sometimes it's $10, sometimes it's $12. I think tomorrow you might see the right to buy this preferred dividend share drop to $3 or $4. And you have to remember, this is a preferred dividend, a stock benefit that was intended for people that only bought and held during the merger to be able to have. So even though I feel like tomorrow could be a day where they're going to try and shake you, because they want you to think, oh my gosh, this is my time to break even and get out, or this is my time to maybe take a 10% loss and get. What are you really getting out of? There could be rainbows and gold at the end of this, and I think that can be lost in translation a lot because the price action of MMTLP has been so volatile. So, okay, I'll stop for a second. You guys chat. What do you think?
No, that's really good. Yeah. Oh, you go ahead.
I certainly am a big believer of the oil and gas. Yeah, the oil and gas asset. There's 3.2 billion barrels of oil and a lot of gas. It very well could be a lot of gas, and like Tony said, it has a value of about $60, possibly more. Mm-hmm. definitely believe in that. I've believed in this entire time.
At
and
minimum,
I'm
$60.
very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, minimum. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you also have the consideration of the 2 aquifers on the property. Well, actually, there's more. They have 2 wells for the aquifers on the property now, but there's the aquifer, so they don't have to truck in water to drill, right? If you use mud motor, you don't have to truck in water. It's right there. If you frack, the water's right there. They have fresh and salt water. You have that, so it saves a lot of money if you don't have to truck in water. There's whole businesses in the area, well, more Midland, because Midland's more developed, so water's more precious out there, but there's whole trucking water businesses that will pay, and then you truck it out. You negate that cost, and then there's the crude oil pipeline, which is right under the Torchlight, the Oro Grande. It's still on university lands, and they have access to it. But it's like just right under there, so it's very easy to hook up. They have access to that pipeline to get on. And then you have the gas pipeline that is right on the Torchlight property. Both of those pipelines are owned by Kinder Morgan. So that's really immense. It's like, boom, hook it up on the pipelines. There you go. You know, that's a whole bunch of value added right there. And if, you know, people this whole entire time have tried to convince you that, oh, there's no wells. It's like, well, you know, if you buy an older property, you still have to maintain those pump jacks, right? You still have to maintain the wells, all the pipe in the wells, you know, it kind of corrodes over time, or replace them. And so if you have a new property, you can put in all new stuff, and the technology now is way better than it was, you know, 14 years ago. Me and B2B were talking about that. It's like, you know, looking at a Model T and a Ferrari of today and saying, okay, yeah, it's changed a bit. It's quite extreme how much we've progressed in the past, you know, 14 years in oil and gas technology for that to happen. So yeah, I'm very excited about the oil and gas assets.
The other thing I wanted to bring up, and this was something that I remembered from you know, from days past, and you know, there might be some people here that weren't a part of this, but October 27th, I believe, the third S1 was released after hours trading. It was a Friday, and a lot of people were really excited about that. But one of the things that they noted in that S1 was the average retail trader at that time, right? So this is back October 27th. We're now, December 8th, whatever it is, had 2,000 shares, right? And if you look at the price action, it was about $6 a share. So the average retail investor had between $10,000 to $12,000 invested into this stock plate. Well, you know, if you look at the price action today, conveniently, it's now at $7. It's right at $7, right? And why is that important? That's important because a lot of retail traders are on the brink of making a decision. Do I take a little bit of profit, right, and get out and say, yeah, you know, it was a good day, and I'll just see what happens, which would be one of your numbers, or do they risk it going below what their investment was? Again, this is the average retail investor, and I think they noted about 65,000 retail investors with an average position of about 2,000 shares. This is MMTLP. They also noted that we should be aware that the price may suddenly rise. So I thought that's always been one of my favorite things of this entire thing. They actually like put it several times in their S1s. So I think there is something to that. I'm not exactly sure when that's going to happen. I have my own opinions on it, but what I'm saying is, you know, tomorrow, you know, it's going to be a volatile day, and I think there are lots of ways that you could look at how to take your 2,000 share average investment. You know, you could actually potentially add to your position there could be a potential. You know, if you look at any squeeze, right, any squeeze out there, there typically is a huge dip right before the rip. And you saw that happen, yesterday, right?
Yeah.
It got down to like $5.15, and in 8 minutes.
Yeah, I just put the price chart up here. So it got down to, what is it, $5.08? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, are you kidding me? Look at that. In 8 minutes.
Yeah.
it doubles in price.
Exactly.
So right when you're at the brink of, oh my gosh, what should I do? Should I buy more? There were people that bought more. I'm sure there were.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I bet there's a lot of people listening that was like, I got to get out of this. The heat is too much. And and for them, that was okay. But
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry. I got ads.
Oh no, hello.
Hello, are you
Can you
still
hear me?
there?
Yeah,
We can hear you. RP?
we can.
Hello?
Hey, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello?
You might be on mute or something like that, Roller Pigeons. Not sure. We can't hear you right now. Hello?
Hey, Tony.
Can you hear me now? I can't
Yes,
hear you.
I can hear you now.
No, I can't. Okay, all right. Yeah, that was weird. Okay, yeah, all
strange.
of a sudden it dropped for me.
Okay.
I guess what I'm what I'm trying to say is tomorrow at 4:00, there's a lot of retail investors out there that are going to have three decisions to make. They could sell, take maybe some profit, maybe a loss. They could add to their position, or they can hold, right? Buy, sell, hold. The basic things of stock. What's going to happen next?
Yeah.
And I think every decision, is going to be, it's not going to be a bad one because it's going to be made, but
It's a choice. Yeah.
It's a choice. It's a choice. And so going back to what I was saying earlier, you two were the ones that were on the MMTLP bandwagon early. You saw the value in that stock. And this was before it was going to be tradable. You both were talking about MMTLP before you could buy more of it, which I was fascinated about. I mean that's a big deal, man. And then all of a sudden you could buy more of it. It was like, what? So anyway, yeah, I think tomorrow's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be exciting for a lot of people. I think it's also going to be, you're going to see a sense of relief that it's finally over, right? I've made the decision. I bought more. I'm going to hold. I'm going to carry this in. I'm selling. I'm taking some profit. I'm going to go with number 2 or number 3. I'm going to break even and play with house money, or I'm going to sell out completely and wash my hands of any of this.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah. So it all depends on your personal situation, I think. Yeah. I mean, for me,
what do you think is going to happen on? So my big question is, and I'm curious, what do you think is going to happen on Monday, right? So Monday is a day where, retail traders aren't going to buy. Why would they buy? They can't carry these shares into Nextbridge. So the only people buying on Friday and Monday could be swing traders, right? Trying to swing back.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Yeah, it's possible.
You could buy a dip.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be because people covering their position. It's not going to be just your typical retail investor.
No.
Do you think that's good? How do you think that's going to impact the price?
I don't think that there will be much.
Do you even care? I guess, do you even care?
Yeah, so I always had a number of shares that I was going to hold to take into Nextbridge hydrocarbons, right? Just because when prices go insane, you really don't know how high they can go, So it can keep going. That's the whole thing, right? So I was planning so I have a block of shares that I had reserved, right? That I said I either plan to sell this block of shares at an insane price, or take it into Nextbridge hydrocarbons. Okay. So now it's just that block of shares can become larger because is the way I look at it.
Yeah, I guess now in kind of talking through this with both of you, if you make the decision to carry your shares into Friday and Saturday, you've eliminated a decision, right? You're not going to buy more. You can't. Or, you're really running the risk of losing money.
Yeah, so I know that I can't buy more shares after the 8th, right? There's no chance of that. So, but I have enough shares that I will be very, very happy afterwards. If I had those shares into Nextbridge hydrocarbons, even at $60 a share, I'd still be insanely happy. At $5 a share, I'm happy, but I'm not ecstatic.
No,
right?
no, at that point. Yeah, right.
And I think that's what shorts are counting on, right? A lot of people are like, $10 a share, $12 a share. Yeah, it's you made some money. You might be able to, they might be able to convince a lot of people to sell at that point because, at that point you have made money, right? And the shorts can get out at $12 a share without going bankrupt. So,
right.
But if they really need to close their position, then they need to close their position. And if there are no shares to be bought by anybody and they only have 2 days, then it's quite possible that price could go astronomical because how can they close their position afterwards?
Yes.
Right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And for me, I'm definitely not selling. Right. I have my own personal price points, right? And it's not just the 60 for me. I look at the tax, the tax implications. If I sell now,
right.
Well, then I got to pay, short-term capital gains. A lot of it's long-term, but yeah, I have to pay capital gains tax on it. And then I have opportunity costs. So, Big Oil comes and buys Nextbridge or Grande.
Yeah, I don't think that there's a possibility of another. Yeah. I don't think there's a possibility of another 3.2 billion barrels of oil being found in the ground like this. Do you?
Right. And so because of that, I look at it, when am I going to have this opportunity again? Plus, if I get shares in a big oil company and they pay dividends, which most do, I get the dividends every month plus the checks. And then when I sell it, by then it'll be long-term capital gains and the tax bill would be astronomically
a lot less
smaller.
Yeah.
And so, right. Plus you get all those dividends in the meantime. So it's, to me, I factor that in. That's a high opportunity cost there.
Yeah. If a big oil company comes in and buys that, buys those assets and then starts developing it, and I get paid dividends out of this, out of this big oil company, those dividends are good for a long time, and that will more than be that will be more than worth $60 a share easily, right? Because they're actually pumping the oil out of the ground, right? They're pumping the oil out of the ground, and then they are they're selling it into the market, right? So yeah.
Yeah, I think you're both. I think you're both right. I've looked at this 20 different ways, and it's exciting to be here, right before all this is going to go down.
Mm-hmm.
And I just look at tomorrow, and I think, shorts are going to try and convince you to sell, and I'm looking at it like, all right, so when am I going to get this max dip? Because I'm like, and I know this may sound crazy, but like, it would be nice if it ran up to like, $20, $30, $40 tomorrow. That'd be great, I guess. But here's the thing with that. I don't even know if I would sell at that price point because it's still not hit what I think it's capable of.
Yeah.
So it's going to look nice. It'll look tempting, and I'm going to, I'll see my account go up. But so let's look at the psychology of that. Even if it went up to 20,
mm-hmm.
would it be really?
No.
Would it be worth selling? And I guess what I'm saying is, right.
Yeah, same here. For me, I would not sell it. There's no point. There's no for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So, my bills to pay. Everybody's different. I understand that. But for me personally, I would not sell at 20. No,
that's. And I was foolish to think, I'm like, oh yeah, like tomorrow's going to gap up to 12. It'll look at all this momentum behind it. And they took that like Superman takes a bullet, they just shrugged that off. And they were like, all right, you guys done buying? Let's start shorting again. And I'm like, okay.
I think that happened because, like I said, the DTCC letter hasn't rolled out yet. As a result, it's business as usual, right? And people go to me, well, why haven't shorts covered? Why haven't shorts covered? Because unless they're told otherwise, it's business as usual, right? They're going to be like, oh, no. Exactly. Right? So yep. I think once that letter comes out, you will see it's possible. I'm not going to say anything 100% guaranteed, but you might see quite the reversal here.
Yes.
It might get spicy. Yeah.
The shorts will short until they can't. And I learned
Until
that.
they're told otherwise. Yeah. Until they're forced otherwise.
Yep. And so I think that's a really good way. The shorts are very binary, and that they're going to continue with their mission, which is let's get this thing down as low as we can until we can't. And that's when. Good.
No, I like how you said binary, because that just says that it's a machine, right? It's machine learning, because people go until they can't, right? Until the machine says no,
right?
Yes, no. Until the machine says no, you can't do this anymore. Okay, well we better cover, we better close out our positions because we can't short this anymore. That just shows that there's a machine, because a reasonable person will be like, well, in that situation, if we're that over leveraged, we might cover now. But because it hasn't happened and they're going to short until they can't, that to me says it's a machine, right? You're dealing with, model 101s back there shorting away.
Oh yeah. My fingers cannot type as fast as they can buy or sell, And that's why when we make decisions as retail investors, we're making decisions with keyboards and cell phones, and we're pulling off to the side of the road going, holy shit. Like yesterday, I'm looking at it damn, man, it's down to $6. I get on the phone, I hang up the phone, and I'm up huge, right? So what happened, right? The FINRA letter came out, and roller pigeons. I totally, they're going to short this as long as they can. And then you saw that letter that Ali posted saying, basically, the risk management team of whatever that trade station or whatever the thing he
Trade
posted
Zero?
was.
Yeah,
Trade Zero, right?
Yeah.
And so 4:00 on Friday. Well, I'm like, well, they're not going to wait till 4, right? So I mean, the risk management team better not wait till the last 30 seconds to cover.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if that's their mentality, they're going to probably start covering a little bit earlier than 4:00. Yeah, I just think we're going to see this. We're going to see a lot of volatility in the next 48 hours. I think it's going to be exciting, and I wanted to get the message out that there's also the good part about this entire stock play from day one is that there is a lot at the end of the rainbow if you decide to do nothing, right? Do nothing.
If you do nothing, then you get next for charge carb shares, and that could be worth a lot. So to your point about machine trading, if you look at the history of MMTLP, this price has been incredibly stable, going between $1 and $2, right? And not ever exceeding that for the longest time. And then suddenly it broke out, right? And all that's been happening, so a machine's been making sure that it doesn't get too volatile during all that time. And only in these last few months, during the breakout, the machine has been controlling the situation as much as possible to try to temper, to
look at that. I mean, that's crazy. Look at that.
Yeah.
Well, that's just.
So that's what we've been seeing, right?
Obviously, what's that?
Yeah, that's what we've been seeing, right? That's. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of in my opinion, that tells me that there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here, and it's crazy too. I've looked at my entire portfolio, and the most stable and profitable stock has been MMTLP.
Exactly. Exactly.
It is a rock. It is unwavering, and I just kept adding and adding and adding because I'm like, how is this not broken out? And I feel like that there's a lot of synthetics out there that I mean, if I was adding, other people were adding, and anyway.
So I just want to give you a heads up. I'm going to have to end the live stream in about
we're good.
In about 3 or 4 minutes. Did you guys notice anything in the chat? Because I can't really see the chat that much.
I wasn't even looking.
Okay, sorry about everyone in chat. I can't really pay attention to you guys and think and talk at the same time. But I just want to.
It's a lot. It's multitasking.
Yeah, I'm really not good at that.
I think this has been good. I mean,
Yeah.
I think this is I've been in it for, like I said, 2 years. You guys have all been in it as long as I have, and you guys were beacons when it came to the MMTLP thing. When a lot of people had a lot of doubt, a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty, and that's totally normal. But I think as we go into the next 3 days, everything's going to be over. Everything's going to be decided. And I think, there's really only good things that can happen over the next 3 days. I don't think it's going to be, you're going to see some price action volatility, but I think, I think the whole message that a lot of these OGs have been kind of permeating is that, only good things can happen with this company, and they've done a great job of remaining compliant and doing all the things necessary to make sure that this works.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's all I had.
Do you have anything you want to say, RP? Yeah. Hello? Still there?
She's probably eating like.
Sorry, no, I'm sorry. Sorry, mute out background noise.
Oh.
I am very impressed with Meta Support Channel's the way he just put everything today. He's knocked it out of the park again and again. So I don't think it could really top that.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I gotta get a YouTube channel. No, not gonna.
Definitely.
You guys are so much better at that than me. So, well, hey, let's all, this has been great. Thanks for being so impromptu about this. I think it's been fantastic. It's all positive energy. I think everybody's probably got a really good idea of what their plan is for tomorrow. I think they have expectations that, even if it goes down, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
If it goes up to $20 and you decide to not sell, that's also not a bad thing.
Yeah.
So.
There's this one other thing, right? So I'm on Fidelity, and I spoke to a Fidelity rep a while back. Actually, just a while back, a few days ago, and I asked about this. Only being able to buy at only being able to sell at 5x the current price, right? Can I place a sell order for whatever price, And they said that, they'll look into it and see what they can do. And then they came back to me and they said, well, the computer will only let them go to 5x the current price because that's all that they can directly manually enter into the order book, they said. And I suspect the order book they're talking about is the bigger order book that all the brokers enter into, right? If that's the case, then that means that a sell order at 5x the current price, so I was thinking that, hey, gee, it might be a good idea for me to sell 100 shares at 5x whatever the current price is, just in order to have that price reached. If it goes high, then at least you'll get a sell price point at 5x that price, and then you put another sell price at 5x that price, right? And that will allow the share price to keep going, is what I'm thinking. So just FYI, just a thought.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, folks. This has been a lot of fun, and happy trading tomorrow, or happy watching, and this. Hopefully, we can do this again. This has been fun. So.
Make your plans. Have a good one. I will be signing out. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that should be it. Anyone else here? No? Okay, that's it. Okay, we're done. Hey, just want to say thank you. That's all. Yeah, so that worked.